Y'all, what's good, what's good? Now, over the course of the weekend and over the course of the last week, it was heavily brought to my attention once again that it's so important to lead by example. You gotta realize that as society is very, we are very heavily rewarded for going right when the actual way was to go left, okay? It's as if we're all sheep, right? And the sheep is just following the herd. If one monkey see, monkey do. So if one leader goes to the right, most people will follow that person because of the amount of influence he has or she has over the masses of people. Okay, we live in a society where we are so rewarded for self-hatred. We are so rewarded for taking the wrong path. We are so rewarded for not having that connection to ourselves. And it is very important that as people now, because we're aware of all the stuff that has been going on and that is continuing to go on, that we create a new path. When you, as a person, have influence, people want to follow you, okay? It is very important that you remain a king or a queen within your reality because people want to listen to you. You have authority, and more specifically for us men, we have authority. People want to follow us. The whole time, the right path was to go straight, yet you took every single topsy-turvy corner to getting to that same path or to an even worse one, when all you had to do was just go straight. You have to lead by example, okay? You can't expect somebody to practice the thing that you're telling them to do. You can't expect a kid to follow you when you're not even following the thing that you want them to follow, okay? If you don't want your kids to curse, if you don't want your kids to do A, B, C, and D, then leading by example is knowing that you shouldn't be doing those things as to not even expose them to the thing that you don't want them to do. And it's very important that if you're a leader, you must practice what you preach. I come on YouTube, you guys see me for anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes every other day, every few days, every week, and things like that. And you only see a specific image of me that I want you to see. But the thing is, I'm not a liar, okay? I'm not the type of person who I come on this YouTube and I spit truth and not follow that truth, okay? It's very important that as a leader, you give the people who want to follow you the resources that you're using to be the best version of yourself. And it is very evident that within society that people want to follow other people, okay? You have to remember that we're all paid actors. We're not paid in currency, but we're paid in validation. We see so many celebrities and rappers who perpetuate this narrative of toxicity, violence, killing, etc. And people are indoctrinated by that. People like to follow that. That's what's cool. That's what society deems as normal, as positive. These are leaders of their individual communities who band together to perpetuate a specific narrative for society. And this is why it's very important to not listen to every single leader that you see, because most times, most leaders will lead you astray. And in actuality, the leaders that you listen to are only giving you the steps and the advice that they took to get on their path. But in actuality, their path isn't always the greatest or most suitable for you. This is why it's very important that we are leaders of ourselves. You have to realize that people are waiting to see how you treat yourself so that they know how to treat you. If you're somebody who treats yourself with respect, with decency, high class, people are going to respect you. People are going to respect you. People are going to, hold you to that standard. But if you're somebody who treats themselves like a dog, somebody who doesn't respect themselves, somebody who doesn't show themselves any decency or any class, people are going to treat you as though you treat yourself. When it comes to mentorship and leadership, it's very important that you listen to the people who are on the path or have taken the steps that you want to take to get to their specific position. And that doesn't necessarily mean burn bridges, okay? Just because a specific person is on a different path than you doesn't mean that what they offer just automatically is invalid. No, what they have to say and their experiences are not for nothing. What they have to say is very important, but you don't have to listen to every single step or take every single step that they have taken. Leadership comes with authenticity. Leadership comes with authenticity. Let me say that one more time. Leadership comes with authenticity. You can't be a leader of a mass of people if you don't know yourself. Because at that point, who are you leading? If you don't know yourself, if you don't know where you're going in your life, how can you expect to lead other people? If the mother and a father of a kid is teaching that kid how to be a respectable young man or woman within society, how to carry themselves, how how to be emotionally and intellectually driven, then that's where they're going to be. But if the parent leads them in a way in such that they are everything the opposite of what I just said, then that's exactly what they're going to be. You have to realize that the people who you have influence over are only a manifestation of your actions. And if you don't respect yourself, they're not going to respect you, and they're not going to respect themselves. And going back to the celebrities, not every celebrity is like what I mentioned beforehand. Someone who talks about gang violence, someone who talks about, all of these topics that are seen as normal in society. I'm not going to get into it again. But there are celebrities who do talk about positivity, okay? It's very controversial to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Fuck if I get canceled. Kanye West. He's very polarizing in society. He has said some crazy ass shit, but he's made to look as though he's crazy. People such as Mansa Musa, the richest man in history. People such as Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, Neville Goddard. These are celebrities, these are figures who are known that have, perpetuated this positive mindset, who have perpetuated these positive narratives. So when it comes to leadership, it's very important to take the service of others' path. Because through a service of others, you're really doing a service to yourself. Not only are you making yourself feel good, but you're making other people feel good. You're elevating other people and you're elevating yourself. You gotta realize that L, when people say L, you're a loser, right? L doesn't stand for loser. L is love. L is leadership, okay? When it comes to leadership, you have to lead with love. You don't lead with hate. Because to lead with hate is to only continue the cycle of generational and societal trauma. When I lead with love. I lead with passion. I lead with conviction. And I lead with my best foot forward. Because this is what I want people to see of me. And that's not to say that I'm lying as in, oh yeah, I'm not going to tell you when I'm having a bad day. No, I'm subjected to the emotions of being a human as well. I have a bad day sometimes. Sometimes I do find myself losing myself. And even as recent as yesterday and the day before that, I felt horrible. Okay, I felt really bad about myself. As at the time of this video being recorded, I felt really bad about myself. But I had to realize that the only leader in my life is me. Okay, I take control of my life. Nobody else can take control of my life. I have authority over me and me only. You may find that through hatred that your car breaks down, or you may lose a relationship, or some supernatural shit in your life just happens. You have to realize that this is all happening because of where you are internally within your life. You're leading yourself through hatred. You're leading yourself through fear. You're leading yourself through sadness by being in a low vibrational mindset, if you will. When you go up, you have no choice but to bring other people up. That's how energy works. When a specific energy is at too high of a state, that energy on the bottom has no choice but to raise itself so that it can level out. So when you exude and you radiate and you perpetuate nothing but positive energy, the people around you have no choice but to be where you are or want to be where you are. And in the case that they don't, that's where you, as a leader of your own reality, of your own paradigm, of your own mind, body, heart, and spirit, that's when you disassociate yourself from them. Your job is not to be a superhero. Your job is not to be a savior-ass person. Your job is to simply just give people the tools and the resources that you use for them to be their best selves. And that's the problem with many empathic people, okay? Many empathic people have this superhero complex. It's not my job to be a superhero. It's the job to be a superhero of my life, maybe, but it's not my job, it's not my divine duty to be a superhero for you. I can lead you to the water, but I can't make you drink. You can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make it drink. And ultimately, through leadership, you have to have the whereabouts to know that not everybody wants to be where you're at. You have to realize that people with a really shitty quality of life will go out of their way to make you look stupid, to make you look like, oh, what you're doing is nerdy or spiritual or whatever, when in actuality, they're the ones who need help. And that happened to me as of recently too. I was talking to this one girl about, her life and things like that, just trying to help her out and stuff like that. And I told her, I recommended the book, The 4 Agreements to her because that's what really helped me out. And as a leader, I'm going to give people the resources that I use to better my life. I told her, read The 4 Agreements. She said, I'm not reading that spiritual shit and I'm not going to get into her life or anything like that. But, her quality of life isn't as good as mine. And yet she made me look as though what I'm doing is stupid or that it's that spiritual shit. You got to realize that where people are in their life, it brings them security. It's simple human nature. As humans, we attach our ego, our identity to things outside of ourselves or even within ourselves, that whether that be endeavors, people, material value, we associate ourselves with these things because it brings us security. Because as humans, we want to feel secure. It's like cancer. Just because somebody has cancer doesn't automatically mean that they want cancer. It's just that's what makes them comfortable, and that's all they know. Sometimes you really just gotta pray to the universe for them, because where they are in their life, it's not that they want to be there. It's just that that's what makes them comfortable. That's all they know. And that's the energetic pool that they want to sit within. But because you're a leader, and because you're aware of everything that is going on, not only within your life individually, but within society's dream of the planet, you have the whereabouts to know that you're a leader, that you don't need anybody else to govern you. The only government that should exist is the government within you. And not a punishing government, but a very rewarding government. Not a government where if you do something wrong, your brain will start to send you thoughts of intrusion, will start to shame you, will start to mock you, will start to make you feel guilty for doing the things that you did. No, a government that is very rewarding, one that, brings positivity in the case that you were to do something right and wrong. In conclusion, it's very important that we lead ourselves so that we can lead other people. When you go up, people want to follow you. You're a man, you're a woman, you're not a little kid. You have authority, you have leadership. People want to follow you. And when you radiate this energy of leadership, of, being the best person that you can be, people have no choice but to be that. Emotional poisoning and negativity is very predicated upon in society. And because you have a government within your heart, mind, body, soul, and spirit, you can govern yourself. You don't need a government to tell you what's right and what's wrong. You have authority. People want to listen to you. It's not your job to have a superhero complex. It is simply your job to give people the resources that you use to be the best version of yourself. People with a really shitty quality of life want to make you look as though you're bad, or you're stupid, or you're a nerd, or you're spiritual, or whatever, just because that's where they are in their life. And it's not necessarily to say that they want to be there, but that's because that's what makes them comfortable, and that's all they know. Society is like sheep, okay? And when the sheep master, the herd master, whatever you call it, when the farmer tells the sheep to go right, or when they see one sheep going right, the rest of them will follow. It is your job as the black sheep to go left, the place of success. Many people will tell you to go right. Many people will tell you to go in this direction, when in actuality, all you had to do was just follow yourself. Listen to everyone else, yes? Observe, not absorb. Listen to everyone else, but ultimately be on your own track. When you're on your own track, that track of success and self-discovery, that's what makes you great. That's what makes you a leader. Lead by example. But with that being said, I love myself through you. We're gonna rock out, have a beautiful, blissed, productive, and successful day. And remember, as we all know at this point, the goal of life isn't just to be infinitely great. It's to be greater than infinity.